In this lesson, I'll teach you a formula that will allow you to break any two numbers down to their raw polyrhythmic co-rhythm. You will understand how the numbers interact and, with practice, be able to play them. I feel that there's a somewhat burgeoning misconception as to what a polyrhythm is. Polyrhythms are two or more independent rhythms moving concurrently at the same tempo. They are not divisible. 3 against 2 is a polyrhythm, whereas 6 against 3 is not, as an example. You can play polyrhythmically against the pulse, between your limbs, or combination, of course. Most of the tricky, odd-time related figures that are executed on the modern drum set commonly feature polymeters, also occasionally referred to as superimposition. This is multiple time signatures being performed at the same time. This is when you're subdividing the beats evenly, but with a subpulse that shifts in between the notes. It takes several bars for the overall pulse to reach a resolution. Although probably not technically correct, I prefer to draw the distinction between the two terms polymeters and superimposition as follows. When I think of superimposition, I envision one limb or rhythm acting as another layer that doesn't have to necessarily be relegated to only playing within another time signature. It could just be an added rhythm. You could superimpose the baiao, a traditional Brazilian rhythm, over a rock beat. Or good old dotted eighth / 3/16 rhythm. Whereas with polymeters, I feel the term carries a broader tone, with the instruments all complementing the general structure, rather than a mere added layer. This all goes back and is related to polyrhythms, so if your knowledge of polyrhythms is strong, you will more easily comprehend advanced rhythmic devices such as these. I implore you to educate yourself with the myriad of available texts, such as Peter Magadini's books, Gary Chaffee's Rhythm and Meter Patterns, etc. Polyrhythms have a more primitive connotation, but can certainly be expanded into an utmost sophisticated edifice. A cursory peek at Steve Vai's Tempo Mental essay confirms this. So, for ease of understanding and demonstration, these presentations will resolve within one pulse. The notes are evenly spaced within this pulse. This lesson will teach you how to play the latter example, but with an additional rhythm.